What's up, everybody?
What's happening?
Welcome back to another Tuesday night. Chat with the Muskrat, Mr. Creole Catfishing. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, a whole lot of everything, brother. The weather is changing. The water temperatures are dropping. The air temperatures are definitely dropping. I can tell you that. It's big changes.
Big changes. And it's snowing here right now, actually.
Well, keep it up there. don't bring none of that down here until it gets back to liquid form. Then I want it, but I don't want the powder. No.
Well, we should be sending some water down your way here. I don't remember how long it takes. 10 days, right?
Let's see. It's 10 days from Cairo to me.
That's right.
So probably like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks from you.
Yeah, by the time it gets to you, it ain't going to amount to much. But our river went from 15 foot to 30 foot in 2 days. So we had some water. It's going down almost just as fast. So we'll circle back to that as far as the rapid changing conditions and all that. We'll touch on a little bit of the conditions around us changing. Wintertime creeping up on us. It's like we didn't even get a fall bite. We just ran straight from summer to winter.
Yeah, that my fall transition was like 3 days, 4 days. Boom, that was it.
Well, we say hello to some folks. We got some folks tuned in with us tonight, and give a couple shout outs before we get started. But Fishing with the Squirrel was first in tonight. I don't know what happened to the stream. If you guys were looking for it, we're going to be here on Tuesday night at 8:00. But I set the stream up yesterday, but somehow I missed something, or I didn't click finalize or something, because I come in today and it wasn't here. So, but we got Fishing with Paula Smith. Paula Smith's been out on the water, and she just had to fire her Joey. I don't know if you guys seen that video yet, but Ken lost a fish for her right there at the back of the boat, but he's fired. So I've got an open seat for right now. If I don't get my ass down, I'm gonna get my butt down there soon. She's gonna fill it. But
I hear she's tough. She's a tough boss in that boat. I keep hearing that.
She's got to be tough. She got to stay tough too. We love you, Paula.
Right.
We got Daryl, Trophy Seekers Outdoors. He was hanging out over with us a minute ago on downtown Ernie Brown and uptown Chrissy Brown's channel. We was talking back and forth. Uncle Jeep's in the house. He wants to know if it's Taco Tuesday. 8th Street Tacos, please.
8th Street Taco. 8th Street Taco. I've heard about street tacos. I've never had a street taco. The best I can do is like Taco Bell tacos, which that's just
No. There she is right there. Chrissy Brown's in the house. Thank you for stopping in. Daryl Hayslip, Chucky Morgan's in here. Hello. Two Stands is in the house. Brokeback Bob says, no wonder you want John Parker to fish with you, Daryl. Bottom of the barrel. Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Boy.
Daryl has been catching the business like all day. He knows what I'm talking about. So, yeah, he's been catching the business all day.
I would feel sorry for him if he didn't ask for it justly.
Yeah.
But the thing about Daryl is he dishes it out, but he takes it too. So it's a give and take. We got Fishing by Faith Outdoors. Jeff Barker's in the house. What's up, buddy? Thank you for stopping in. John Boy's in the house. S&T Catfishing. Howdy.
Come on.
Got Missy Kennedy in the house. Cold Creek Catfishing. Billy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for stopping in. We got the Queen Catfishing. Tanya Hollis. Man, that Queen name, it gets thrown around a lot.
It does.
We got the ladies are getting ready to take a stand. We heard a little bit of it last weekend. I know they got something going on. Something's brewing. I don't like it.
Something is a brewing.
Something's brewing. But I'm sure when they're ready, we'll get let in on what's happening. Mike Greenwell's in the house. Mr. # Team Ohio River. We got competition coming up.
Yeah, buddy.
In a couple of weeks. We got to get on our game and get these fish figured out. The conditions are changing faster than what we're fishing. So there's Chaz in the house. Dreadneck Outdoors, Demented in the house.
Yes, the name has caught on. That's what I'm talking about.
Demented in the house. That's my brother.
That's awesome.
Dreadneck Outdoors. So
that is
he lost
gold right there.
He lost his his official name and went with the title. So
I like it.
Now we got to do is get him outdoors, and he can have that. Let's see, Russ is in the house. Russ, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate you being here. Hope you're healing up. I actually haven't heard an update on you for a while, so I hope things are going better for you. And I can't wait to see you back out on the water doing what you love to do. You got something? I heard you take a breath like you was getting ready to say something there.
No, I'm good.
David Smith's in the house. Try to get through. I forgot my stinking mouse again, so I'm sitting there tapping on the little pad. Yeah, and that's catfishing.
A little bit of a name change. Missing that.
Yeah, we switched things up a little bit. That's good. SNF Outdoors is in the house. Well, we got 47 people. I don't know if I've said 47 hellos, so I got to hurry up.
Yeah, I know, right?
Miss Becca's in the house. Always good to see Becca tuning in. Oh, my screen just jumped like crazy.
Nope, I got it. That's Avid. I see Avid in the house. What's up, brother? Uncle Jeep in the house. I see. Dang it, mine jumped too. Where was I at? Oh, yeah.
Bullock.
Got Tracy. I got Tracy Arvin in the house. What's going on from Cincinnati?
Oh, local guy.
Miss Robin C is in the house. Let's see. I see Kelly Bullock in the house. Could I possibly be caught up? Maybe. Well, yeah. We are caught up.
We might be caught up with everybody saying hello. I'm sure there's some folks in the background that are watching. Yeah. I've got to figure out. So here lately, this last week or so, I've seen, I know Cody and J-Dog did it the other day, and Lyle did it last night on Catfish Weekly, where they're able to put up a question. People can ask questions anonymously. Yes. I say they want to put it up in chat. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So if anybody's got that figured out, maybe it's on YouTube side and not on StreamYard. I'm not know. Sure. But if anybody knows how to get that done, let me know.
Yeah, we're new at this. We've never done any of this before.
Here we go. Russ has replied, healing well, just slow still, only allowed to lift 2 pounds of weight until mid-December. Well, I say some bluegill or crappie. Now, the crappie might push 2 pounds down your way, but I'd say you could probably still get a rod in your hand, do a little. Now, the skipjack, they might only be 2 pounds, but they fight like 10.
Yeah. Speaking of the females having stuff going on, I was fixing to click on it. No, let's see.
Oh,
yeah. How you like that?
Woo-wee. Well, let me tell you a little bit about how Paula Smith thinks. All right, because me and Paula's pretty good friends. So I don't know about you, but I would take this as a huge compliment because,
and I do.
Paula wants to take out the toughest competition she could find. So. I mean, I don't know how.
Then that means we have something in common, then, because I'm the same way.
Yeah. To be the best,
I'm half honored, half terrified, like 50, or maybe like 60-40, 60 honored and 40 terrified. We'll go with that.
Yeah. So there it is. That's official right there. Now
you got it. Yeah, you want it, Paula. You got it.
There Absolutely. You go, boy. That's an epic battle. We're going to do it. We're going to do it right here on Muskrat Adventures. How's that? We're going to break. We're going to break records with that one there.
Yeah, buddy.
Harold Bolton's in the house, another channel member. Thank you so much for helping out the channel and helping us grow and continue to thrive. Kentucky Redneck Outdoors. We got a Facebook user saying hello, howdy, fellas. Can't tell who you are just yet, but appreciate you here nonetheless. There we go. I knew Cody was watching, but he was trying to be quiet. You have to be on the YouTube website. Open a second tab, and you'll see the option at the bottom chat for this stream.
Okay, got you.
All right, you have to be on the YouTube. Open a second tab, and then you will see option at bottom chat for this stream. So I can run StreamYard and YouTube at the same time.
I guess you have to set it up prior, similar to how you do like subscriber only mode. I guess you have to set it up in there, and then I guess it runs into interesting though.
That's something else I didn't do because I didn't realize this wasn't already set, and so I did it quickly. And now that we're already live, I don't think I can do it. Maybe I can. Oh, yeah, I can. There it is. Let me get this subscriber on real quick so we don't have to wrestle.
Apparently, we're having fun with this already. We announced it 30 seconds ago, and here we go already.
Woo! The Smack Talk is it's going to get good. I can guarantee it.
I made we made a friendly agreement that we were gonna keep this one on the level. Now I don't know how long that's gonna last, but for now.
All right, hang on a second.
What's going on?
Got a message over here. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. We missing anybody else tuning in? Hey, there's Weed Hopper.
Yeah, just highlight a couple of names in chat that I see scrolling through. Mid-South Mike, what's going on, brother?
Oh, you're more than welcome to put that in chat. And then whoever the person who's listening knows who I'm talking to.
Ah, okay. War Pig Catfishing, what's going on, brother? Good to have you in the show.
What's up, Bill Hopper? All right, so the first thing we kind of touched on coming into the stream tonight is about the cold and how things are rapidly changing. One of the things that's rapidly changing here for us is the water levels. So, like I said, we went from a 15-foot pool to a 30-foot pool in about 48 hours.
Yep.
Now, today, within 24 hours, we've actually dropped 5 feet already. And I don't know what the prediction is. We've had some snow rain mix all day today. So one of the things that kind of got me, yep, there it is. War Pig's right, one step ahead of me. Anchor season. All right. So for the majority, Roger, I'm calling you out. We will work out our rules. Chrissy Brown wants a piece.
Here we go. We calling the shots. I love it.
I'd rather fish with Chrissy than against her, but I will not turn down a challenge.
Look, I feel the same way about Paula. I'd much rather fish with her, but you know what? If this is the closest I can get for now, I'll take it.
So War Pig brings up an absolute great point, and that is heading into the fast water, being able to anchor efficiently in fast water. And Jeremy, I think that this is really a level of your expertise, considering you anchor in fast water all year.
Yeah,
all the time.
That's anything below 2 miles an hour is slow for me. That's just kind of our average deal. And I've done the whole thing of anchoring in really slow water, and I actually, believe it or not, I struggle with that. Because to me, because I'm so used to it, anchoring in fast water, if you take the proper precautions and just do things step by step, to me, it's easier because there's just certain things you don't have to worry about. Right. I absolutely, Paul. Like for instance, if you're anchoring in fast water, you don't have to worry about if you have enough current to hold your boat straight and hold your rope tight. I promise you. You're going to have enough. You probably won't have to throw a drift sock out the back to help hold your boat because you're going to have more than enough current to do those things. I promise you. Now, I am working on a little something here. And if I can.
We got a comment from Cody here. It says, I challenge Creole and Roger. The only rule is you cannot use any bait.
Cody. Well, hey, okay. That's the case. Can I bring my snagging rod? We can work that out.
Uh-oh. Be careful what you wish for. Now somebody's hiding behind user Facebook blank. We don't know who this person is yet. I'll find out in a minute. It says, Roger, stick to rivers. You can't fish worth a lick on a lake. I don't even know who that is, but I'll take that challenge. You name the lake.
Oh, I know, right?
I don't even know who you are.
Okay. I know our procedure, no matter how fast the water is, our procedure for throwing the anchor in the boat is always the same, which I'm talking about water fast enough that my spot lock will not hold my boat. Okay. And usually for me, that's the 2 mile an hour, 2.5 mile an hour mark. Yeah. that will definitely be happening. I can promise you that.
Now you done used up all your timeouts on Dad. You can't time him out. Sorry,
I did get him last week, didn't I?
The first one's funny, but
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
no, it's not as funny the 10th time.
Hey, there's AJ's Mercantile and Tackle Box down here in Wheelersburg, Ohio. Thank you, Joe and Angie, for tuning in.
Yeah. And Dad understands the procedure I'm fixing to talk about, because usually it's me and him. It's either me and him doing this, or it's Gabe and I that are doing this. First off, I couldn't tell you how to do this with one person in the boat by yourself.
It's not safe.
I can't tell you how to do it, because I can't tell you how to do that safely. What I'm going to explain is a 2-person operation. You got to have somebody driving the boat at all times. Somebody you trust to drive the boat.
Yeah.
You got to have the person on the front of the boat actually dealing with the anchor. The first thing I'll do, I'll pull up to my spot where I think I want my boat to be. And I'm just going to hold myself with my motor just for a minute. I want to see how my boat reacts to the current. Because when you're driving your boat, you can feel yourself getting pulled and jerked around. And it gives me an idea of where I need to set my anchor and where my boat is going to end up. Because a lot of times you're not going to point your boat straight, set your anchor, and come straight back. A lot of times you have to offset yourself just a little bit either way. Holding your boat, trying to hold your boat still in place will tell you what you need to know about, okay, wait, I need to throw my anchor this way a little bit or that way a little bit, or maybe you can throw it straight, depending on what you're doing. So the next thing I do is I look at my depth, okay? And let's just say I'm in 50 feet of water. Well, the anchor that I throw, bare minimum, I can get away with 3-to-1 on my anchor rope, which means I have to have minimum 150 feet of rope out per, for the depth of water that I'm going to be fishing in. Right. Because if you have too much of an angle, upward angle on that rope, it's going to snap your zip ties. It's going to pull your anchor out. You're never going to hold.
You're just going to drag it. Listen to that, Jody.
Yeah, you're just going to drag it along. It's better to have too much rope than not enough. So once I have that in my mind, I'm looking forward and I'm saying, okay, about where is 150 feet? Where is 200 feet? Okay, we start going up very, very, very slowly. Now, what I do, and this is a little more of a guesstimation with your current speed and your depth, I will pass the spot and keep going. I might go another 50, 75 feet beyond the spot. Whoever's operating the boat, I'll tell them, okay, put it in neutral. They'll put it in neutral, the boat will creep, and then the current will start pushing it backwards. That is when I throw my anchor.
Yep.
Because in really fast currents, what will happen if you don't get that boat moving backwards some, when you throw the anchor, that current is going to pull that anchor under your boat.
Yep.
And now you don't know where your anchor is. You don't have control over it. Now you're chasing your anchor behind your boat. And as you're trying to hurry up and let rope out, the current is pulling a loop in your rope under your boat with a spinning engine. Not a good thing. So
never
get moving backwards first. Get moving. I'll throw it in front of me. I'll let it come down. Now, the whole time I'm letting the rope slip through my hands and I'm feeling it for it to catch. Now, at this point, I am not allowing my boat to move back in the current full speed. I'm kind of treating it like bumping. I'm letting it slip back maybe half the speed, something like that. When I feel confident that that anchor is really caught good, I'll give the signal to, and usually I'm doing this.
Yep.
Give it a little throttle. I want my boat driver to hold the boat for me again. We're going to hold it. I'm going to cleat the rope off, and then he's going to slowly back off the throttle.
Yep.
And the whole time I'm off the nose of the boat. I'm watching my rope, and I'm watching the bank to make sure my anchor is going to hold. As he comes off throttle, goes into neutral, I'm not going to get in a rush. I'm going to wait, keep eyeballing the bank. I'm going to give it maybe 5 minutes.
Yep.
I'm going to eyeball that bank. I want to make sure that anchor is dug in and it's not going to move. Then I'll mess with my rods, put my weight on, maybe get the whole time I'm looking up at that bank. I'm making sure that my boat is holding exactly where I need it to be.
Now, guys, I want you to rewind what he just said and think about it.
Hey, everybody.
What the?
Tim Molina, Keith Doc Reed. Hello. Welcome to the chat.
My phone just decided it wanted to hear Chrissy. Well,
wow. Okay.
I didn't even touch it. Anyway, what I wanted to get back to is the fact that Jeremy said that he signals for his driver to, hey, stop the boat, slow it down. Because what happens is if you're in fast current and you're flying backwards and you try to hurry up and cinch that rope up, not only are you putting your fingers in danger and everything else, a good chance you're just gonna yank that anchor, and now you're just now it's bouncing down through.
It's too much. Yeah, it's too much pressure all at once. Yeah.
So you just you come back, that rope gets good and tight, and you just kind of stop. You go ahead and tie up everything, and then just kind of let it ease tension onto that anchor line, and boom, now you're set. And
nice and easy.
Yep, that's a huge thing when you're anchoring in fast current. Is you want to try to stop that boat, get your anchor rope set and everything, like he said, nice and calm. If you're panicking and you're rushing, you're doing it wrong, because you should have time. Like Zach and I, we anchor a million times, and we know the exact routine. When we start, we communicate back and forth, neutral, reverse, hold it, whatever that is. Because otherwise you're going to fight your anchor, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to drag your anchor through the fish that you just wanted to sit on.
Yeah.
Because 9 times, at least for me, and maybe this is different for you, but for me, anchoring really comes into play mostly in the wintertime. I'll anchor on some flatheads during the rest of the year, but and in wintertime, I'm targeting cover.
Yeah.
Log piles, rock piles, steep ledges, hole drops. I'm targeting one particular thing down there. And so for me, using my graph, I'll drop a waypoint on whatever that is I want to fish, and my graph will tell me countdown how many feet I am away. You're 200 feet. We're letting out anchor rope. You're 150 feet. You're 100 feet. For me, I like that 70, 75 foot mark. That's just between 75 and 100 foot is where I feel most comfortable. Then it comes into play about casting your baits right to that structure without throwing over it and behind it.
And this statement that Daryl said seems like it's an obvious statement, but you got to read into what I believe he truly means by this.
Oh yeah,
the art of anchoring a boat.
Yes,
and the first time getting the boat to rest exactly where you want it, how you want it, it takes practice. It takes a lot of judgment. It's you got to have time on the water.
Yeah.
You got to have time to be able to get that boat in the exact position that you intended it to be, because we all know if you're 10 feet off of where you need to be, you just soon be 100 feet off, especially during the winter.
And this is a very, very good comment right here from Stan. Being on the anchor, being on a rope, which we're talking about heavy current right now. Fast flow, which normally we'll be able to spot lock and try to use our trolling motor to control it. But if my trolling motor is running 6, 7 on speed, I can't do that all day. I'm going to kill my batteries.
Yeah.
So I can run 3, 4, maybe 5 almost all day, and no big deal. But if we start running 5, 6, 7, it's time to bust out the anchor. But he is completely 100% right here. Even on an anchor rope, you kind of still have to have your head on a swivel, because a big tree coming. Yeah, big tree coming down the river at you, and fast current can get dangerous quick. I know we've all talked about it. Yep, he's one step ahead of me all night right in here, but that's good. We on the same page. He thinks just like me. Keeping a very sharp knife at the cleats location is.
In fact, I'm pulling up a picture to show, in fact, on that statement that he just said,
those
something
cleats
I have on my boat.
Those cleats that you run, I've been saying since you told me about them that I need to switch over to these cleats.
Okay,
and
here we go. Let me see if I can share the screen.
Zach's in the house.
Here.
What's up, buddy?
See if I can share the screen without screwing anything up.
Zach, take a look at these cleats he's getting ready to bring up because
there we go. There we go. Right there. That is the exact cleat that I have right there. That is an Atwood zigzag cleat. And what the rope does, the rope winds through that cleat and comes out the front. The reason I absolutely love that cleat is under full pressure. And I mean, a 5/8 rope is humming in the current, full pressure. I can stand straight above the cleat, grab the back of the rope, and pop, 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 and pop it out that cleat. I don't have to use my boat to relieve the pressure off of it. It'll come out of that cleat under full pressure if you pull straight vertical on the back of that rope. And that has saved me, I don't know how many times, from having to cut an anchor rope.
Yeah. And I have many times as you've shown this and I've seen it and know better, I've still not swapped out to these type of cleats knowing that I should. Now, I have thrown my entire anchor rope, anchor ball, and everything over to avoid, catastrophic, failure.
And that's another thing that I think I do things, at least I think I do things different than everybody else. That when I say what I do, I find out somebody else does it too. I actually do not throw my anchor ball out until I'm ready to pick up my anchor. My anchor ball stays in the boat with me for two reasons. One, my rope bag that I keep my anchor rope in, it by itself, it doesn't float. So what I do, I keep it clipped to my anchor rope bag. If I need to get off an anchor quickly or for whatever reason, I throw the ball over with my rope bag. That's what floats my rope bag, is my anchor ball. That's reason number one. Reason number two is the system that I use. It's a 4-inch stainless steel ring that goes on that rope. What happens in that really fast current, and plus because I have my cleat dead center on the nose of my boat, what will happen, that fast current will actually push that ball up under the bow of my boat. And when you go to take off with it, somebody has to get on their belly, reach under the nose of the boat, and try to get the anchor ball to go whatever way they want it to go to pick up the anchor. So we figured out, we pull up, take pressure off the rope, and when I make my turn, anchor ball goes out the opposite side. We don't deploy it until we're physically in the process of picking it up.
Yeah. We always deploy the ball probably 8 feet, 10 feet ahead of the boat. So I'll throw the ball out. I'll throw out, I'll let little bit of extra line out. I'll throw the ball out, 10 feet before we're ready to snug everything up. And, but see, we're not dealing with 4, 5, 6 mile an hour current. We're dealing with 2, 3, mile an hour current. Typically, if we're anchoring up, we're not going to be in the middle of, 4 or 5 mile an hour water.
Yeah, ask Dad about that. Trying about getting in a rush and trying to get that anchor ball up when it's got the full pressure, the current pulling on it. Yeah, that'll happen.
Freddie's in the house. He said he's stopping in for a while on a quick break. Thank you, Freddie, for tuning in. Yeah. Talking about anchoring. Well, we're going to talk about more things, but I really wanted to stop here on anchoring and spend a little bit of time on some of the tools that we use. Both Zach and Daryl had mentioned the anchor ball, and of course you mentioned your anchor ball.
Yep.
But I think we did this, I don't know, a while back.
Yeah, we did. I'd actually brought my anchor ball inside and showed it. Now back then I was using a different method of attaching it than I do now. I switched to that 4-inch stainless ring instead of that big old clip, for the simple fact of the new anchor that I have is so big on the front that I couldn't find a quick clip to go over the front of that anchor. So I switched to I switched back to the stainless ring that I used to use, I don't know, a year ago, something like that.
I used the stainless ring. I can't remember who. Actually, I think it was Daryl. When I fished with Daryl down in Tennessee, that was the first time that I had experience using that ring.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, previously I didn't even understand really how it worked. But now
the ring has its advantages and disadvantages. I know a lot of people like to use the I don't know what it's called, but basically it's a piece of pipe with a bolt through it, and your anchor ball hangs from that, and your rope slides through the pipe. That system there, it physically prevents the rope from going the opposite way, which is why when you're on anchor, you can deploy your ball with that thing on it and back up a little bit more. With that device, it cannot push your anchor ball towards the front of your boat because that device won't let it go that way. The only reason I don't use that device, one reason and one reason only, is that device has to stay on your rope no matter what. You don't have the option of taking it off your rope. Not really. With the ring, I can take it on and off like I want.
So right here is an illustration of what it's doing when we take off. So in this illustration here, the rope is attached to the front of the boat. It's going back, and you guys can see there's the ring that Jeremy's talking about. In this case, it's a ring. There are also special like clevises that go on there that allow the rope to go one way and not back the other. And driving the boat forward, it's yanking this anchor up off the bottom. And it's going to actually suspend it underneath. I don't want that. It's going to suspend it underneath. And you can see here that once the anchor ball, once the anchor comes all the way to the cleat right there, then all you got to do is basically pull the slack rope in. And the only lift you have is actually once the anchor is directly underneath the boat is lift it from the water into the boat. Man, it will save you so much on your back, so much banging around, just so much headache. It just makes things so much easier. I have a video on how to use an anchor ball. I use the ring. It's great. So there you go.
There you go.
I actually forgot he did that. There's so many different people. There's so many different videos out there. I know that Chris Outers did one. I know that I remember that. I do remember now that Daryl did one as well. Him and I think it was Woody or Russ. I think it was Russ that they went out and did it. But if anybody has questions on any of this stuff, you're more welcome to either throw them in chat or shoot me or Jeremy a message.
Absolutely.
We've both been using these anchor balls for quite a while, and so there's. I'll be honest with you. If you fish on moving water, you're doing yourself a huge injustice by not having one of these on your boat.
Yeah, they are great because there was a time, pretty much you can say there was a time before YouTube, before I knew what an anchor ball was, that we would do things the old-fashioned way. And Dad's in chat; he can vouch for me here. I pulled up one particular extremely heavy anchor that I used 9 times in the same fishing trip, and my shoulders were crying. I couldn't lift my arms anymore. When I found out about this anchor ball thing, it changed my life, man. I love it now.
Now this here looks like the buoy ball and the ring and everything all together, and it's about $90. Now you can get this. You can buy them separately and save yourself some money. There's different size balls.
The ring's about $12-14. I think the Atwood one is $14. Anchor ball, it's $60 plus or minus, depending on which size you get. Just make sure that the ball you get is rated for. I don't know a percentage. Don't ask me, but make sure it's rated for more than what your anchor and chain actually weighs.
And here's something else to consider, especially since we're talking. I'll pull this off here for a second. Especially since we're talking fast water. I know that this has happened actually to Zach. This hasn't happened to me yet, but it could. When you're talking about fishing extremely fast water and you're using one of these anchor ball systems, using one that's rated just enough to get your anchor to float, well, that's great if you're in still water. But guess what happens whenever you're in fast water? the force of the water is going to push that thing down, and it will actually sink that ball.
Yep.
And you might have to wait for that water to go down or calm down, come back in days and hope that somebody else ain't picked it up. So just be mindful that go with a bigger ball than what you think you need.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you a couple bucks up front, but if you ever have to throw it overboard in fast water, know that it'll actually stay buoyant and won't get just shoved underneath the water.
Yeah.
Because then you're out everything. So you're better off just spending a couple extra bucks.
I learned the hard way with mine. I forgot to check it before I went fishing one day, and over time everything leaks air. It just does. Tires, anchor balls, whatever. My anchor ball didn't quite have enough air in it, wouldn't inflated quite enough. When we went to get off anchor, I made my loop, and that ball just went under the water. I said, uh-oh. Basically what happened, that ball didn't have enough air in it to float that huge chain that I use on my anchor. It drug the chain around on the bottom, and in that matted revetment, there is no forgiveness. It hung everything. I lost my anchor, chain, the whole works, simply because I didn't check my anchor ball and make sure I had enough air in it.
Yep. And they're just like a basketball. Most of them inflate. You can use a needle or whatever, just like a basketball or a football. And, this inflates the same way in most cases. Russ said the same thing. He said he learned how to use the anchor ball system 15 years ago. Best investment. Here's a question from G-Style. You knew we was going to get a good one, right?
Exactly.
I've been waiting. I've actually, while I was looking at the screen and talking back and forth, I think we missed a lot of stuff. So I'm going to have to scroll back up in a minute. But different style anchors. What's the best anchor in your opinion for fast current?
That will depend on the type of bottom you have in your body of water. I can tell you from me, I fish in a lot of sandy, silty, muddy bottoms, soft stuff. It's not often I anchor in hard stuff. For me, there's two anchors that work great. One is, I'm going to call it the the never lost anchor style of anchors, a piece of pipe with the blades coming off. Those work great. Another type, and that's the anchor I had for many years before I lost it, is what's called a Bruce style anchor. It basically looks like a plow, and it's got the nose and two wings. A Bruce style anchor works awesome in soft bottoms because the harder you pull it, the more it drives itself down. And it's made to be used on a breakaway system, like with an anchor ball. I loved my big Bruce anchor before I lost it.
I use basically the same type of anchor. The anchor I actually use is called a hurricane anchor, and I don't know that they even make them anymore. They're just a heavy duty, really good anchor. Now, honestly, if I ever need to replace it, I do want to go with the Never Lost anchor. They have a really good product. I love what they do for the community. So I like to support companies that support us anglers. So right here is a 17-pound heavy duty anchor. It's listing it for $75, but in my opinion, these style anchors here, and what's most important about it is this right here, where the chain connects here to the top of the anchor. There's a zip tie that goes in place. So what happens is, when this thing gets hung up, right now, you're pulling on what the force is coming from here. But when you get hung up, you pull on this chain hard enough. Sometimes you got to pull with your boat, but that chain will plop. And now the tension comes from here, which will actually flip the anchor over and basically pull it straight up.
That's right.
And that's why they're called Never Lost, because, I won't say they're never, ever going to get lost, because, you're throwing it at the bottom of the river. You don't know. You get hooked into a car. It's not Cadillac proof, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But for the most part, we have had tremendous success getting these back, using the zip tie here, heavy zip tie, and pop off. So,
and even the zip tie itself, the poundage, the size zip tie you use, and in my case, how many of them you use, that takes a little bit of adjustment as well, because if you don't use enough zip tie, what'll happen, just the tension, because you do get a little upward tension on that zip tie. It's holding a little bit of weight because of the downscope of the rope. It'll actually break it, and it'll flip your anchor over, and it'll get you off anchor if you're not using enough zip tie. Right. If you're using too much zip tie, you're going to possibly rip a cleat off of your boat or break your rope trying to break the zip tie to get your anchor back.
Yeah.
I know for me personally, this is my setup, my situation. I've got a 2072 aluminum John boat. It's a pretty big boat. I have mine is actually homemade, but I kind of copied that design. It's just a bigger, beefier version of that Never Lost anchor that I use with a huge piece of chain on it. I use 2 75-pound zip ties on my anchor. That's what it works for me. It's just enough to where I never have to worry about popping it under tension. And when I come around with my boat, 50% of the time it'll break, but I can actually feel my boat jump when it breaks. It doesn't strain anything, but I can physically feel it break when I pull it with my boat.
Yep. That's exactly what we use. 2 75-pound zip ties.
Yep.
And another thing is never drive forward over your zip tie. If you're trying to pop it, you'll sink the front of your boat. If that's hung up in there really, really, you don't know what you're hung on. There's a good way to take the nose of your boat underwater, or like you said, rip a cleat off, damage your boat. So try to pull away from it, or if you have to, like, spin around and back away from it. Just don't drive over to where you have the possibility of it dunking over. But Stan says it's funny we talk about that. Daniel from Never Lost Anchors, which, by the way, Daniel Never Lost Anchors is a local here. He's from, I believe, Bainbridge, Ohio, which is about 10 minutes from my parents. So that's another reason why I've always wanted to kind of support. I've talked to them at a lot of the trade shows and stuff here locally, and they're great guys. Unfortunately, I've got 2 Hurricane anchors I've had for about 5-6 years now. I've never lost one, and I can't go just buy something because I want to have it. I got to need it, except for rods and reels.
Now that you said that, you watch. Next time you go fishing, you're gonna lose one. Watch.
I know it.
Murphy's Law. You know how that works.
I know it. Warpick says, peace out, everyone. Great show, Raj and Creole. Good night, brother. Appreciate you tuning in. So here's let's talk about a couple other things. One of the things a lot of people complain about being on anchor is sway. Man, I hate the fact that the boat keeps doing this, which in reality, I mean, you're on a string. It's going to happen some. But
you're going to have a little bit of boat sway. Yes.
But now that brings you to drift socks. And so in my opinion, if you want to get steady and not have the sway, you got to have 2 drift socks. You can put one out each corner. That should pull you tight and keep you tight. Now, the size of drift sock that you decide to use, 100% depends on your current.
Yeah.
The more current you have, the smaller drift sock you need, because it's pulling with so much force. If you put a large one out, it's like they're parachutes. I mean, that's all they are, is water parachutes.
Yeah, exactly.
If you think about a dragster going down the strip and that parachute pops out to slow them down instantly, the exact same thing is happening on your boat. And you put that drift sock out, it's going to pop open. And if you've got a big one and you've got fast current, it can yank you off anchor and send you sailing down the river. It'll pull you off anchor. So you really got to, in my opinion, you should have 6 drift socks on your boat. To be, I know, 3 different sizes, maybe 2 different sizes, and have 4. But, for me, I like a small, medium, and large. And honestly, 6 drift socks they're only like $30-$40 for most of them.
It's sometimes, because remember they had that sale not that long ago. On the Cabela ones, they were going for $9.99 each. Man, y'all think y'all bought them all in a matter of 30 minutes.
Yep, they were gone.
They
were gone. I got mine.
Yeah.
But see, they were out of the big ones. I think I got 3 56-inch ones. I wanted the 72s, but 56-inch is a good universal size for me here. We don't have, like you said, the kind of current you guys get. Now, when it starts cranking, I'll be going down to 30-inch drift socks, 24-inch drift socks. Heck, there's times when we've used 18-inch drift socks. You're like, what's the point? Yeah, it gets moved fast enough. It helps.
Yeah, still helps. I know. When I anchor, hardly ever do I anchor just in a straight flow, both sides of the boat current. A lot of times when I'm anchoring in or very near to a current seam. And before I owned a drift sock, which is only very recently I bought one because of situations like this. I know one trick that I would use, I would try to anchor my boat a little bit on the slow side of the current seam, but I would put my motor down and I would turn my motor to act like a rudder. And it would kind of push my boat over. And once it pushed it over and got it right against that fast water, that current seam, it does a decent job of holding you straight. You will get some sway no matter what without a drift sock, but it does lessen it. But I'm revealing one of my fishing secrets here, but you've always heard Roger and I now talk about nudging baits.
Yep.
If you're in an area where you've got a sandy, muddy bottom and there's really not much to get snagged on, that boat sway, it'll drag your baits just a little bit to your boat. If every time it sways, you kind of keep up with the slack and let your boat drag your baits real slow, you find fish that way. Just saying.
I'm going to bring this up here. Guess what?
There you go.
They got more of them.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Guys, I'm telling you right now, if you don't have a drift sock and you're not sure about drift sock, $9.99. You will not. You see it right there marked out. It's $59.99 for these drift socks. I don't need any more.
He's fixing to have them though. you know you're gonna buy some as soon as we end the show.
I would do it right now if I was going to do it, because by showing everybody, they may be gone by the time we get off the show.
Yeah, but maybe.
I'm telling you right now, these are really, really good drift socks. The only downfall with these is they don't come with a bag. A lot of them come with a mesh bag to store them in.
Oh, yeah.
That is the only thing you're missing on these drift socks. Really good quality. They open really fast. Hi there, $9.99. Again, what it is when Bass Pro and Cabela's merged, they got rid of all the Cabela's name brand drift socks and went to only Bass Pro. So now they're only Bass Pro drift socks available through the drift socks. So they're still getting rid of all the old ones.
Ooh.
Try
it. She's bringing me food. She's distracting me now.
Distracting you? I will. Yeah, let me see if I can copy this link, and I'll drop it in chat for you guys if you want to go check it out. In my opinion, if you are ever even thinking about getting a drift sock,
that is good stuff.
What are you eating?
Well, I cooked a beef, rice, and gravy last night. Still have a bunch left over, but no rice. So we dumped pasta noodles and rice-a-roni in it and kind of made a jambalaya / pasta kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah.
A lot of times when I try to post a link like this, it looks like the whole thing showed up. Sometimes the link's too long to post.
Ah, got you.
But there it is. There. You guys can tell me whether that link works for you or not if you click on it. But if you've ever thought about getting a drift sock, $9.99, dude, you could buy 6 of them for the price of one. Get you 238s, 246, and 256, and you'd have all the drift sock you really need for most situations.
Yeah.
Mr. Marilla's in the house. I brought him out of hiding. He said, "Click on grilling stuff. I don't need any drift socks." This website here is one of my favorites, man. This Northwoods Wholesale Outlet, dude. They've always got.
This is like the clearance aisle for fishing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you'll never know what you're going to find on here. It's like a box of chocolates.
It's one of those things I guess you just have to kind of maybe once a week check it and just because browse, just kind of see what they got. You'll end up finding something that you probably don't need, but you're just going to want it for no apparent reason.
Yep.
That's how we accumulate stuff. That's how it happens.
Right there. Whoa.
Oh, I saw that. That's some good stuff, though.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
You had that?
I have a famous TikToker uses that brand of seasoning in his stuff, and I have grown to like it. Yes.
Hey, I didn't even see the name of it. I'm not putting that up there.
I thought you saw.
Not the whole thing. I just seen the BS. I didn't see the BC.
We're fixing to have a repeat of Balls Deep Tackle in a little while.
I was looking at the bottle and then I read the title. I'm like, holy
crap. I thought you saw. That's all right.
Do they come with a 12 quadruple E? I got a wide foot for his socks.
Oh boy, it'll fit a pretty big. You can put a pretty big foot in there.
Merlo says the link works. So hopefully, if anybody's, if you don't, you don't. But if you, hey, right there, Christmas gifts. Somebody in the family boater. You buy him a couple of drift socks. If you don't know what size to get the 56 because it's, unless they fish fast water a lot, then get them the, 46.
Yeah, I couldn't see in my situation ever needing a 56-inch drift sock. It'd probably just rip the trans and rot off my boat.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yep. Maybe even, probably even smaller than the 46.
Yeah, the one I have is a 36.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes I put it out. It's like, whoa, okay. That's a little much.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. It kind of goes hand in hand. The drift socks, with the anchor ball, anchor buoy, system. When we're talking about precision anchoring, and I won't even get into the Pythagorean theorem. Jeremy made me promise no math tonight.
I tried. Right.
I got to be honest. That episode I did with the Pythagorean theorem, with the aquarium in the background, the boat and the string and all that stuff, that is a really good episode. I may have to
visual aids. Everybody loves visual aids. I thought I had some for tonight, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm way too embarrassed to show my drawing skills. So I was like, you know what, we're not even doing it.
That bad, huh?
Maybe next time, maybe next episode, I'll find an excuse. I will bring out the new digital whiteboard for everybody to see. Maybe.
There you go. Yeah, the drift socks come in handy for so many different things. So Bobcat brings up an excellent point here. So drift socks, basically, they don't combat water. They combat wind. All right. So if you try to keep that mindset, if you're in a windy situation and your boat's getting pushed to the side, back and forth, drift sock. If you're in a situation, there he goes. Daggone it, Stan.
We made a promise, Stan. Well, we didn't say anything about putting it in chat. We just said we weren't gonna.
Yeah, Stan's right. That's exactly the equation. Maybe we'll bring. Maybe I'll play a part of that clip on another episode so we could kind of experience it again. Because I don't have that aquarium and the visual aid that I used to have. But anyway, think of it combating wind. So if you're dragging baits and your boat is getting pushed by the wind, what do we use to combat wind? Drift sock. So now we put a drift sock out the back. Now there's tension on the front of the boat with the trolling motor. There's tension on the back of the boat with the drift sock. And now you're pulled tight and your boat will hold tight, more of a straight line. So there's a million, even if you don't fish. So yeah, I guess I misspoke when I said if you're fishing current and you have thought about getting a drift sock, think about it. But if you drag baits drift sock.
Yeah, it's much more of a necessity in my opinion if you drag a lot of baits. If you
suspend drift, a lot of guys will put two drift socks out the side, slow their boat down and suspend drift across a lake. So the socks are used for so many different things. That's why I keep saying it's good to have a bunch of them because you can use them in so many different scenarios.
That's right.
Side to side sock. Yep. Pontoon Jody says, yep. If you're going swinging back and forth now, especially, in Jody's situation here, you're talking about a pontoon catching a lot of wind, deep V's like the boat I've got do we still have Daryl in the house? He just popped in. So he got credit for being here and left, didn't he?
Yeah, possibly.
I was going to give him a pro tip on, they was talking about how to urinate out of a tall-sided, deep gunneled boat. And I told him I had a pro tip for him in here, but I don't know if he's stuck around long enough. Papa's asleep.
Oh, boy.
We always have to tell him that what you want to do here. So in a situation like my boat, where the floor is 31 inches tall to the gunnel. So honestly, for me to reach over the side of the boat and wash my hands, my feet come off the floor sometimes.
Wow.
You should have seen Chris hooks and hammocks try to
that had to be fun to watch. And that's hard to imagine, because I know my boat, it's classified as a John boat, and I've got pretty tall sides for a John boat. They're 22 inches. I can't imagine 31. I think I'd have a hard time with that, as tall as I am.
Well, I'm about to make life simple for you. So go to any $5 tree or whatever it's called, five and below or whatever. Pick you up a plastic baseball bat. Cut the end off both ends. And now you can reach out the side of the gunnel. You can reach over the side.
Okay. All right. Now I know what you're talking about. Now you're making an extension. You're making an extension. I'm not gonna name it on this show, but man, I better quit. I'm gonna say something I ain't supposed to say on camera. And Bobcat, I highly doubt you have that problem. I doubt it.
Yeah, that's just.
Yeah, I doubt that.
There's children watching the show, man. Pea stick. There you go.
Yeah, well,
get you a baseball bat, cut off both ends, and now you don't have to worry about peeing on the gunnel and peeing on your clothes. The wiener wand, that's a good one.
That's getting closer to what I was thinking. I'm trying to behave, Abbott. I'm trying. My mind went off in the weeds once I read it today. I possibly upset a few people, whatever. And I'm trying not to do it live on camera. Trying.
Now the names are coming out. Extension drain plug. Yeah. The Extendo Wii. Boy.
That's a new FOA product idea right there.
There you go. This stuff's free. I'm giving this stuff away for free. Beats a Gatorade bottle. There you go, Harold. The viewers are dropping. They've had enough.
I just about misspoke that one. Close. It's like that close. Man, y'all need to stop. No.
Well, I told him to stick around at 8 o'clock. I'd have him a pro tip for how to solve that issue, not be able to pee off the side of the boat.
We might need video evidence of this. You might have to make a video of this pro tip. I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm not volunteering for that.
Just saying.
Boy,
really, Freddie. Hey, why not?
Yeah, Freddie's busy all times of different products, and he's brainstorming of different things and ideas. And if you don't, I'll sell it to Triple City.
Hey, I mean, look, Freddie sells rods, and now he can sell rod extensions. Yeah, there we go. Okay,
Jimmy's in the house. What's going on, Jimmy? There goes your monetized option on this live. Yeah, that's all right.
Oh boy,
12 cents I made last month. At least
we didn't lose control till like the very end. Normally 15 minutes in and we're already doing this.
Yeah. The FOA rocket. Jimmy's in the house. What's going on, Jimmy? Jimmy's about to become my neighbor. He Kentucky boys will call it the Louisville Slugger. Here you go. Jimmy's about to move down to Portsmouth. We were talking back and forth this week about some locations of prime areas that he may be able to target once he gets down this way or down that way. I'm not even close to Dayton. Portsmouth right now. I've been here 5 minutes and I'm not sure what's going on here. We aren't either.
Me either, Brian. Me either. I don't know.
I don't know if any of tonight's topics would really apply to Brian much. Well, he did play around with doing some dragging, so drift socks maybe.
Well, Brian anchors quite a bit. I don't know if he ever anchors in fast waters, but I know he anchors quite a bit.
Well, they got tidal water, so I mean, it'll move.
Yeah.
Ryan, just to give you a heads up, I dropped a link earlier. I don't remember what. I think you might have got a couple drift socks or a drift sock gifted to you, but I found a super duper deal on $10 drift socks that won't last long, and I dropped the link up in chat if you want to scroll up and look at it. That deal's killer. I don't know how they keep coming up with this. Last time they came up, I bought 3 56-inch drift socks, and I got them all within and they're Cabela's name brand packaged drift socks. They're not some generic off-brand. They're Cabela's name brand drift socks.
No, that will not be necessary, Avid.
My phone's been over here buzzing. I'm scared to look at it.
You're probably going to do it anyway.
Use code BB. Oh, never mind.
No.
All right. Yeah, Roger, I'll be down there moving in December 1st. I will let you know. All right, Jimmy.
Ooh.
Get a hold of me. I'll see if I can help you find some locations that you could be able to access from the bank. And then if you're up for it, we'll jump in the boat and we'll go out and check some things out.
There you go. He come in just in time to see the link. He already got to.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, that's a heck of a deal. I love checking that drifts. When we brought it up, it just clicked. I was like, I haven't checked that for a while. And it's crazy that every so often you'll catch it and they'll have them in stock. And I don't know where they keep coming from. They keep finding them and keep selling them dirt cheap till they're getting rid of them. But they are, like I said, Cabela's name brand drift socks.
Isn't it something to do with, Bass Pro done bought out everything, so they're slowly getting rid of everything with the Cabela's name on it?
Yes.
I guess it comes from some warehouse somewhere. And
that's exactly what it is. So Bass Pro has discontinued the Cabela's version of the drift sock. They have a Bass Pro version, which is also a great drift sock. It's made very well. It's a good drift sock. But for $10, and these are good drift socks. They open really easy. I like them. They are a little bit thinner material than the new. Not going to say it, are you?
No.
Thank you.
No, Avid, you need help. That's all I'm going to say. You need help, Avid.
Bobcat says they need to give you commission. Heck yeah. Yeah, so if you bought one and you saved, let's see, $9 at 59. If you saved $50 a drift sock, just throw a pinch my way.
There you go.
No, I'm just kidding. I know. I like being able to help people. Sometimes it's with our experience. Sometimes it's with sharing knowledge or tips that we picked up along the way. Sometimes it's sharing great deals.
And sometimes it's be sure you don't do this.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the anchor buoy ball, I know Zach told me this story where he had thrown his overboard, and I can't remember what the situation was, but he threw it overboard and the current was so tight, it just sank it. He's like, oh, crap. He came back, a couple of days later as the water started to go down. He thought, it might be popped up by now. He never did find it. Now, I'm guessing maybe somebody else did. I don't know. Yes. We don't have a whole lot of diehard river fishermen out in the winter here, which is one of the reasons we absolutely love wintertime fishing. There's like no competition on the water. And be honest with you,
minimum boat traffic. That's always a good thing.
Yes. Yeah. And the commercial guys, they seem to pretty much lay low, right? So wintertime, pay lakes aren't buying fish anymore. They'll lay off. They won't buy fish until springtime. So now your commercial fishermen are done. They put their stuff away. The pleasure boaters are done. They put their stuff away. And now the hardcore anglers who will fish through anything pretty much. Somebody said something about this the other day about, now as fishing season has come to an end, what are you going to do? Fishing season doesn't come to an end.
Fishing season end? What are you talking about?
We actually, Zach does a really, really good job of keeping track of things. So we've got numbers of fish for every month, how many fish we caught. We've got notes on big fish, where we caught them at and what the conditions were. And we catch more and bigger fish during the next 2 to 3 months than we do all year. Drift sock, how much would fish current, down current, that steps would you take? Whoa.
It's pretty much, I mean, I think I'm understanding the question here. You're pretty much going to take the same procedures as I explained in the beginning of the show as to basically how to safely anchor a boat in fast current, except the very, very last thing you're going to do once you're sure your anchor is going to hold is then throw your drift sock out the back of the boat. You're just adding that step onto the end of that 10, 15-minute explanation that I gave.
Yes. And like you said earlier, the big thing here is to give your boat time to settle and make sure it is holding and it's going to stay, and do it again. Add that time to, if you throw a drift sock out, you kind of got to start that time over again to make sure that you don't take off going down river. So the thing that you don't want to happen is you go out and you throw all your rods out, and the next thing you know, they're all wrapped up underneath the bote and you're going down river. And now you're breaking, snagging things off, and it's a panic moment and things like that. So, once you get everything set, that's the same thing we do. Once we get everything set up, we start cutting bait, we start putting sinkers on. We just let the boat settle, and then right before so a lot of times too, we will drop a waypoint, even if we're nothing near where we want to be. We'll drop a waypoint right where we are, or just drop one, and then you could just see, am I moving farther? Is that number getting bigger? If you drop it and it says 5 feet from your boat, and now it says 7 feet, and then it says 9 feet, 10 feet, 11, you're moving. Now, if you drop it and it changes a little bit, but goes back, your boat might swing a little bit. So, it may say 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet, 6, 7, 5 feet, back and forth. So just keep an eye on it. Something you could do is just drop a waypoint where you're at. And because honestly, eyeballing from the middle of the river to the bank, am I moving? Am I not moving?
Yeah.
Well, GPS is way more accurate than your eyeball.
Yeah, you'll know 100%. Now, I'm still zoning in on the question here, because now he's adding trolling motor with a drift sock on downriver, and maybe we're talking about drift fishing here, whether you're suspend drifting or something like that, but going downriver. Well, you'd be kind of like almost in a bumping scenario. Your boat's going to be going backwards, pointing upstream and coming backwards. Your trolling motor is going to slow you down, and your drift socks will be at the back of the boat, kind of holding you, helping you keep that straight line. If that's what you're talking about. Now, I have in slow current, I have thrown my drift sock while I'm spot locked with my trolling motor. I have done that. It's a rare occasion for me, but I have done it probably 2 or 3 times, and you can do it. You just have to be aware that your drift sock isn't big enough to suddenly overpower your trolling motor, which that happened to me one time. My trolling motor was fine until I threw that drift sock out, and then it wasn't fine anymore.
Oh, I didn't even realize Becca, she was already on it with the link, and then looks like Avid was dropping the link too, and I dropped the link as well. So if anybody missed the link earlier for those drift socks, there's the link for them. Like it says, 38, 46, and 56-inch drift socks, $9.99, guys. Buy, even if you don't need them, buy a couple and put them back. There you
go.
That's so cheap.
You're gonna find a use for them. I tell you, you're gonna.
Oh yeah. Well, if you're like me and some others, every now and then you'll go to take off and forget your drift socks back here and tear it up. Or you'll suck it into the motor and tear it up. So,
hey, we are professionals. We never do dumb stuff like that.
Look at that already. 56-inch sold out.
That tells you what size is popular right there.
Yep. Brian says, sorry.
Brian probably bought them all.
He might have. I'll be honest with you. When I seen these before, I thought about buying every one I could find and keep buying them and keep just even if I sold them for $20 a piece, it's double your money.
Yeah, sell them for 20.
Right there it says, Stonefly, I'll sell you one for $19.99.
I'll bet. Hey, still a deal. Still a deal. I'm just throwing that out there. That is still a deal.
It looks like Two Stands was either bought some or at least thought about it. And $8.95 for shipping on one, and $11.95 for shipping on three.
Hey, there you go. Then you playing it smart.
Well, good. I'm glad some folks was able to key in on that deal right there. So nothing else. I feel good about tonight's show for that.
Yeah, we had like 3 or 4 other subjects lined up just in case. Heck, we could have kept on talking about anchoring at this rate, because you can really get in depth with it on the different methods, different tips and tricks that everybody uses to, and it takes practice to. And it takes a little dedication and sometimes a little hard-headedness to where I want my boat here. My boat needs to be here. And if you're a little new to anchoring, you are not going to get it on the first shot. I'm telling you now, it ain't going to happen. But just be committed, because that goes back to my point. Bait placement is everything, especially during the winter. These catfish are slowing down. They're not going to travel as far to come by the bait as they did when the water was 75 degrees. Placement is even more important. Get your boat where you need it to put bait in front of fish. That is the only thing that matters.
See, the thing that changes in the wintertime is a fish's detection zone of how far he knows your bait is nearby, and how his detection zone, and then his bite zone, right? Yeah. How far he's willing to travel. I seen her come in. How far that fish is willing to travel to get that bait, right? Yeah. So situations change continuously that change that window. So the fish may know the bait is nearby, but he's not willing to go that far to go get it. And that's one of those things where precision anchoring and precision casting and getting your baits like right up in that structure, right up in them rocks, right on that ledge, whatever that site had an anchor buoy for $30. There you go, man.
Hey, there you go.
Keep looking right now. Just like we talked about earlier, make sure you're double checking the size, what you think you need. And like I said, anyway, we went through all that. But good. I'm glad to hear that, that they, people are shopping around. I love that website. You just never know what you're gonna find.
That's it.
But I lost myself in the conversation there. But
but
that's probably talking in circles.
Anything we talk about, it almost doesn't matter what you're talking about. The end game is put bait in front of fish.
Yes.
Put good bait in front of fish. But I don't care how good a bait you got. If you're not putting it in front of fish, it don't do you any good. Bait placement is everything.
Oh boy, this is almost a whole nother show.
Ooh, yeah.
Size and type of sinker, more important in heavy current. Also, put the bait where you want it. Yeah, putting the bait where you want it and keeping it there is two different things.
I will say this, unless you're using planer boards or something like that, in my situation where you're really humming in some current, I don't care how big your weight is. Eventually, it is going to pull them right behind the boat. It may do it slower, or unless it catches a hole or catches something along its way. But if you've got a decently smooth bottom going to a ledge, guess what? They're all coming behind the boat. That's why you can pretty much tell when I'm fishing how fast my current is by how many rods I have out. If you see me with 6 rods, current ain't very fast. You see me with 3 or 4, current's rolling because everything's behind the boat. You can't. I've thrown 30 ounces out the side thinking it would hold it. No, it takes longer, but it drags it behind the boat again.
I can't even imagine. Hey, Skip's in the house. Clearview Outdoors. What's going on, buddy? Yeah, kicked out another video this week, man. He is gonna have an entire series on real maintenance of every make and model out there. Right now, he's pretty much got a booze. I'm getting ready to send him my Beast, so we can figure out why in the world is a Beast so expensive. What in the world in there is worth that much money? Because I sure in the heck can't figure it out. And
a Beast, who makes that?
A Boo Garcia Beast.
Revo.
Yeah, well, no, it's not the Revo. It's just a regular beast, regular, round. It's a $399 reel. And why?
Wow.
I can't understand why.
Jeez,
I didn't pay that for it. I want it.
You're proud of that, huh?
That's more than what. Well, I use it on my bumping reel for my bumping reel just because it's so expensive. I can't just put it down and bang it up. It has to stay in my hand.
You have to at least hold it, huh?
Yeah.
That way a fish can catch you by surprise and rip it out of your hands.
Well, if that happens, it is what it is.
You have a cool story to tell. Yeah, I lost a $400 reel. That was a 100-pound fish. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, if I'm going to make things up, it's going to be a 150-pounder.
Exactly.
Yeah, Bobcat says the Revo Toro is a lot of reel too. I think he just bought that off of Pat. Pat had a bunch of rods and reels. Or at least reels, I know. He put a bunch of reels up for sale. I think he put rods up too. Just kind of cleaning inventory and doing, everybody needs a little extra money right now. That's for sure.
Yeah. And look, I know of a professional tournament angler that all he used was Revo Toros for his bumping reels. Now he uses a $100 reel, and I use one now because of him, and he doesn't put that one down. He don't bring his Revos out anymore. Roger knows who I'm talking about.
I do.
And I use the same reel. And let me tell you something. I see why. I love that little $100 reel, little Okuma convector with a line counter on it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yep, I've been shopping around for. Now I've got an Uncle Lou bumping rod. I've actually got two bumping rods now, so now I need another reel. So I've been kind of shopping around for another reel. Yeah, Greenwald done called that one out.
He knows. He knows.
Yeah, I swapped the Revo out for the PC Fun. I got you. Yeah, I was wondering if those PC Funs, was it the Alios?
Alios, however you pronounce it, but yeah, they got Alios. And they're all about in the same price range. You got the PC Fun Alios that's right at $100. You've got the Cast King Capstan that's I think a hair over $100, not much. I know Paula swears by that Capstan; she loves it.
Right.
You've got the Okuma Convector like I have that's right at $100. Okuma makes the cold water low profile that's like $140. So you've got a lot of options in that $100 or so range on bumping reels. You really do.
Yeah, it might take me a minute to get used to because in the convector, the one that has like you can thumb bar, you can hold it down, then let it go.
It has a switch. You can choose that option if you want, or it works like a conventional reel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a switch you can select, and I ain't gonna lie, I run it on that option all the time. Once I got used to it, I love it. I love running that option of not having to turn the crank to engage the reel. Just let go of the button. Oh man, I like it.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good. I've already been wanting to get one. Merlo says they're on sale on Amazon usually from $78 to $82. So that's even better than.
Cool. I got mine from Tackle Bandit, I believe. It was a little under $100 when I bought mine. I couldn't tell you exactly. It's like 90, 95 maybe with shipping, something like that. For me, hey, I love that little reel. We caught some nice fish on it. Handles them great.
He loves his Capstan.
Oh well.
Womp, womp.
They are not. In fact, that was the reel I was considering before the convector. That was my option number 2, was that Capstan.
That's it. Man, we covered a lot of stuff tonight.
We did. We did. We went from anchoring to extensions to products, and I had to. I'm sorry.
You just had to throw that back in there, didn't you?
I had to.
Everybody thinks it's funny until they're out in a situation and they think, "Man, I wish I had a baseball bat."
So many things I can say. I'm just gonna let that float away.
Tired of peeing on my bibs. Well, you know how it is. It's getting colder. You're putting on more layers of clothes, and the clothes get thicker, and things get shorter, and everything else. Just
there's an old joke we say in construction about cold weather and doing all that, and what to do about it, but I'm not. Anybody who works construction already knows the joke. I'm not even going there on a lie.
This will be off air content.
It is. It is
part of the Murillo arsenal. Shrinkage. Bobcat's on it today. I don't know.
He is. Yeah, he is.
We've got him fired up. But well, guys, I think we're going to wrap things up and leave you guys hanging or wanting some more information. Yeah, Snake.
Yes. Yes. So now that we've talked about how to put your boat there for a winter fishing, for anchor fishing, maybe next week we can talk about how to actually fish for them.
Boat control in most situations is, in my opinion, probably 75% or maybe even more of the strategy to catch fish or whatever it is. So whether you're bumping, whether you're 100%. Dragging, drifting, anchoring, no matter what you're doing, boat control is it's one of the most very, very, very most important things you can do. Now, if you're a bank fisherman, that's easy. It's easy to control the bank.
Yeah, that's pretty easy at that point.
Yeah. S&T says he loves his lose. I actually was a big fan, and I still am, but I put a lot of miles on my reel, so it's really kind of hard to compare apples to apples when I abuse stuff way more than the average person. But I really loved my Luz Lasercast XL 60s for a $60 reel. Man, those things held a ton of line. I landed a ton of fish on them, but they kind of showing their age. So,
I've got between my son and I, we've got the whole collection of Luz, basically ditch pickle bait casters, like the Luz Mach Pro and every color combo you can possibly imagine. Great bait rods, great rods for catching bait.
I'm not sure what jingle this is going to, but smelly bats, oh smelly bats.
Yeah, that's a whole other problem right there.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with some kind of disinfecting or sanitizing method.
We need to quit while we're ahead.
I don't know if we're ahead, so we're just going to quit. All right, guys, we're going to wrap things up here. Appreciate everybody stopping in tonight. Truly enjoy having each and every one of you come in and hang out with us for a little bit on Tuesday nights. We couldn't do it without you. Well, we could. It'd just be me and him talking. We do that anyway.
It's not nearly as fun. Not nearly.
No. So we'll come up with some more stuff. So next week we're going to talk about what to do now that you got your boat sitting still and it's cold outside, and where we're going to go to look for these fish. And how we're going to put them in the boat. So tune in next week. Same cat time, same cat channel. Good night, everybody.
Bom peixe, everybody.